Welcome back to the Educational Highway. Today, we're diving into an idea that can literally shape your future, the people you choose to have in your life. This is a big one, so let's get right into it. You've probably heard this saying before, right? Maybe from a coach or a parent. But according to our source material, this is way more than just an old saying. It's a rock-solid truth. The quality of your friendships is a direct predictor of your own personal growth, your habits, and yeah, even where you end up in life. It really all boils down to the power of influence. So, here's the game plan for today. We're going to walk through this 5-part framework that's designed to help you really evaluate your inner circle. And it doesn't matter if you're a student trying to figure things out, a professional climbing the ladder, or really just anyone who wants to level up, this is going to bring some serious clarity.
Okay, let's dive into the core problem. So many of us find ourselves in friendships that are, well, they're just kind of there. Or worse, friendships that are actually draining or negative. And we put up with it because, hey, at least we have friends, right? Well, the source material argues that this kind of thinking is actually pretty dangerous.
This line just cuts right to the chase, doesn't it? The idea here is simple, but it's absolutely critical. If you're constantly surrounded by things like negativity, gossip, or jealousy, it's eventually going to wear you down. It'll corrupt your own character. But, and this is the good news, the reverse is also true. The right people can lift you up and make you a better version of yourself.
So, what do we mean by the right people? Well, the source material challenges us to aim a lot higher than just finding good friends. It actually puts forward a totally different standard, one that can fundamentally change the whole purpose and power of your relationships.
Now, this right here, this is fascinating because it highlights a really subtle but absolutely massive difference. See, a good friend wants what they think is best for you, based on their own opinions and experiences. But a godly friend, as the source defines it, wants God's best for you. They're cheering for a higher purpose and potential in your life that goes way beyond just, money or temporary happiness. It's a huge shift in intention. Okay, so this godly friend standard sounds great in theory, but what does it actually look like day to day? Well, the source material breaks it down into 3 really practical, observable qualities. Think of them as the essential pillars of a truly strong friendship. And here they are: encouragement, support, and accountability. Now, according to the source, these aren't just, nice-to-haves. They are the 3 non-negotiable pillars that hold up a strong, future-proof friendship. So let's break down what each one really means. Let's start with that first pillar, encouragement. And I want to ask you this directly. Just think about the last time you hung out with your friends. When you left, did you feel energized, more confident, like you were full of life? Or did you feel kind of exhausted and emotionally drained? Be honest with yourself. The source uses a really powerful term for that draining feeling: a leech friend. Yeah, it's a harsh metaphor, I know, but it perfectly captures the reality of a one-sided relationship that just sucks the life right out of you. A true friendship is supposed to be life-giving. It should fill you up, not leave you feeling empty. The second pillar is support, and the source uses this incredible image to explain it. A single thread, it can snap in a second. But when you braid 3 cords together, they become unbelievably strong. That's what true friendship provides: resilience. It means having people you can count on, who will pick you up when you fall and be the first to celebrate you when you win. And that brings us to our third and maybe the most challenging pillar of all: accountability. This famous proverb is really the foundation of the whole idea. So what does it actually mean to sharpen one another? Think about it this way. When you strike 2 pieces of iron together to sharpen a blade, sparks fly. It creates friction. It is not a gentle, comfortable process. And in the exact same way, true friends are not afraid to have the hard conversations. They're the ones who will call you out when you're off track and challenge you to deal with the things that are holding you back. It's not always comfortable, for sure, but it is absolutely essential for growth. And that kind of accountability is what leads to major breakthroughs. So I'm curious. What's one barrier a friend has helped you smash through? I would genuinely love to see your stories down in the comments. All right, so you've taken a hard look at your circle using those 3 pillars. Now comes the toughest part. What do you do when you realize a friendship just isn't measuring up? This section is all about taking action. The source lays out some crystal clear red flags. If your friends always avoid the tough conversations, if they actually encourage your bad habits, or if your friendship feels like you're the only one giving encouragement and support, well, that's not a friendship. That's a one-sided therapy session where you're the unpaid therapist. These are all signs that a change is needed.
So here's the bottom line. Having that difficult conversation, or maybe even ending a friendship, is incredibly hard. It can be painful. But you know what's worse? Avoiding it. This quote frames it perfectly. A little bit of difficulty right now can save you from a future of being held back, hurt, or led down a path you never wanted to be on. We've covered the why and the what. So now let's wrap this up by focusing on the most important person in this entire equation: you. After hearing all of this, what is your personal next step?
One of the biggest things that holds us back is the fear of being alone. And that's a totally legitimate fear. But the source offers this perspective. The decision to raise your standards for friendship doesn't come from a place of fear. It's an act of power, of love for yourself and for your future, and of having a sound mind. And of course, just a quick reminder that this entire framework we've walked through today comes directly from the work of the Educational Highway. So I'll leave you with one last question to really think about. Forget good intentions for a second. Looking at their actions, their words, and the influence they have on your life, can you, with total confidence, say that your friends truly want the absolute best for you? Because at the end of the day, your friendships aren't passive. They are active choices you make every single day. And your future is just too important to leave on cruise control. It's time to grab the wheel today.